In June 1984, India witnessed one of the most controversial military operations in its post-independence history, Operation Blue Star. It was launched by the Indian Army under orders from Prime Minister Indira Gandhi to remove armed Sikh militants who had taken refuge in the Golden Temple complex in Amritsar. The operation aimed to flush out extremist leader Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale and his followers who were demanding a separate Sikh state, Khalistan. Though the mission was seen as necessary by the government, it deeply wounded Sikh sentiments and left a long-lasting impact on Indian politics and society. The rise of militancy in Punjab during the late 1970s and early 1980s set the stage for the operation. Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale emerged as a powerful and polarizing figure, initially supported by political groups to counter rivals. Over time, he grew more radical and began demanding religious and political autonomy for Sikhs. He and his followers took control of the Akal Takht within the Golden Temple, converting the sacred site into an armed fortress. This deeply alarmed the Indian government, which feared an insurgency and possible secession. Bhindranwale's rhetoric grew increasingly militant, and incidents of violence and communal tension escalated across Punjab. Several police officers and civilians were killed, and the law and order situation worsened. The government believed that diplomatic or police methods would no longer be sufficient. As the militants began storing weapons and fortifying the temple complex, Indira Gandhi and her advisors concluded that military intervention was unavoidable. Preparations for a highly secret operation began, with the Indian Army tasked with executing a swift and controlled mission. Operation Blue Star commenced on the night of June 5, 1984, with the deployment of thousands of Indian troops around the Golden Temple. The initial plan was to execute a surgical strike, avoiding damage to the sacred shrines. However, the militants were well-armed and heavily entrenched within the complex, making resistance fierce. As troops entered the temple, intense gunfire erupted. The Akal Takht, which Bhindranwale had fortified, became the central point of confrontation. The battle, which lasted several days, turned out to be far more violent than anticipated. Fierce gun battles raged within the Golden Temple complex from June 5th to June 8th. Indian Army troops, including specialized commandos, faced sniper fire, grenades, and machine guns from fortified positions. The temple's narrow corridors and concealed bunkers made combat extremely challenging. The army brought in tanks and heavy artillery, including cannon fire aimed at the Akal Takht. This resulted in severe structural damage to the historic building. Hundreds of people were killed, including militants, soldiers, and innocent civilians caught in the crossfire. The death toll from Operation Blue Star remains disputed, but estimates suggest that over 500 people died, some say even more. Jarnail Singh Bhindranwale was killed during the assault, along with his key associates.